Welcome back, everyone. I am Zadian. This is Kerbal Space Program, the Redneck Space Program. And today, people, we're going to be doing a little bit of maintenance right here on our space station. One thing I didn't do in the last time was I didn't set it to start studying experiments. And I still think I kind of messed it up. I'm not too familiar with the science lab, so you'll have to forgive me if I bone this, but I think I did it right. You just click on it and say start analyzing materials or start research. I don't know. I haven't really. I'm gonna have to look this up. I haven't really messed with this too terribly much in the past. But that being said, we did start research on it, and we're gonna go back to the Space Center. And our main focus of today's episode is going to be the rover. That's right. We had a little bit of an accident with the rover on the last episode. We're going to try and fix some issues that we had with it. We're also going to add more to it and hopefully make this thing a little bit more stable on the lunar surface. And we're going to, like I said, we're just going to reorganize it, add, subtract, multiply and divide the whole entire thing until we get it a little bit longer, a little bit heavier, and a little bit more stable. And one of the other things we're going to do to it is we're going to take the some of the science experiments on top of it and sink them down into the belly of it. And also while doing that, we're going to put rockets on it to keep it pushed down on the surface. That tip came courtesy of Jolly Roger Aerospace. Thank you very much for that tip. We're gonna definitely try and utilize that. We're also gonna add more wheels to it to add more stability, and we're gonna put some redundancies on it. So the science experiments that are gonna stay on the side, which are gonna be the thermometer, barometer, and accelerometer, or whatever they're called, those three. We're gonna put them on each side just in case we end up losing something. And we're also going to put wheels in the middle, so it'll be a three-track vehicle, three-track. I guess that's how you'd say it. Anyways, but yeah, just setting up the wheels right now. I do test it like this. However, it's still squirrely, as you'll see here in just a second when it loads up. And this is just a continuous shot of everything that I did, testing the rover and everything. And see the thrusters right there. That's so if we get any air on the moon and stuff, it'll push us back down to the surface. And it's a solid idea. With the amount of fuel they burn, it's not a lot, so it should be okay. But you can see right there, the thing is still just prone to spin around, and spinning around on the moon is not going to work. That's just nothing we can tolerate or even have. Those things do burn fuel pretty quickly, but it shouldn't take too much thrust to keep us at close to 1G on the moon. And it's not something that I'll have to run constantly, so we should have enough fuel for that. But that's not something we'll be able to test until we actually send this to the moon. So if it's not enough fuel, we have more weight to at least add to it for our next rover. If we decide to, if this one gets destroyed just like the science experiments on this one gets destroyed like it did on the other one, then we can always just add more fuel or add more thrusters or whatever. I mean, I don't know what else to throw on there. We are going to throw some stability assist on there as well. We're also going to put a computer core on there so that we don't have to send Kerbal to go pick the thing up and then bring it back. And we're just gonna hide that on one of these nodes up top, and push it down into the body, so that way we don't have to worry about having to deal with that. Sorry, my brain gets a little scattered here as I'm watching this. Excuse me. Sorry, had to burp. Anyways, yeah. So looking to add more weight to it, also looking to add more wheels to it. And trying to decide what to put on there in order to get that. It's gonna end up being fuel. Or I take that back. Yeah, no, it ends up being fuel. Just the smaller ones, and we're gonna spread those rockets out a little bit further apart to kind of distribute the thrust across the entire body of the the rover, and then we're gonna put two more sets of wheels on the middle. This should provide enough stability for us to not lose it on the moon, or at least not lose it as easily on the moon. Now, know that the moon is there's a lot of steep curves and stuff like that on the moon. We're also going to sink this thing down in there because we don't want it on the side anymore. And then this is where we're going to redo our science experiments. And you can see there the thermometer got glitched inside of it somehow, which is strange. I had to remove everything and then put it back on there. But yeah, so we're gonna reorganize these to just be redundant on both sides. We don't have redundancies for the Science Junior or the goo canister, which may be an oversight in the future, which I could see where we could easily fit those on there. But I just didn't do it. I didn't feel like I needed to. I think them being sunken down into the chassis or into the vehicle has kind of protected it. Well, at least it did. That thing took a hell of a spin the last time. So I'm assuming that this will be more than enough. I think that those will be more than enough protected. I could be wrong. And again, we could be doing this all over again. As you see, our top speed is still 40. But when we go to take a turn, still a little squirrely, but a little bit more easily maintained. So what that means is, holy shit, look at the science. So apparently I never came over here and got all the science, which is just wonderful. So we're going to, at least this test has got something good for us. We should probably drive around the Space Center with this thing and collect all the science. We never did that from the beginning. I forgot that we never did that. So there is still science on the at the compound that we haven't even done yet. We're going to change this up. We're going to make some modifications and send this bad boy up a little bit better. You can see right here I'm loading the new one. Gotta put that thing back on there. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, so we're going to strut this bad boy up, or not strut this bad boy up, fairing it up, making sure that our arrow is okay. We're going to keep the same amount of fuel and everything to get down onto the moon. That worked out great. However, this is a little bit of a heavier load. So after looking at it like this, kind of decided to go with the best kill is overkill. And we're going to send it up in this thing. Just without the lander and everything. Just save that as our heavy launcher, our heavy lifter. And this bad boy, the way it's configured right now, is more than fucking enough to get us there. However, we are going to take a couple of those off. We don't quite need 4. That's a little bit much even for me. So we're going to stage it down to just 2. And then that's going to be that. That's going to be what gets us up there. Like I said, it's overkill. But that is a heavy load it's lifting up. I mean, could I have done it without that? Yeah, probably. Not going to lie. Probably could have done that. But make sure there's no Kerbals in there. No sense in sending one of those to their death. Also forgot key factor here, which is one of the problems we had going to the moon last time is that our rover had to be angled in a certain way because of the sun and the solar panels. I fixed that. I put batteries on there and I put some solar panels on there as well. So now we don't have to worry about which direction our rover is heading. And you see, there's a big difference right there. It actually dropped down a little bit when the thrust wasn't all the way up. See, this is a heavier load, so this was a good choice to go with the heavier lifter. And just wanted to show you it launching. Ooh, the audio is messed up. I just noticed that. Sorry about that. There's nothing I can do about it. I don't know. It must have been a glitch in the recording. Either way, we're getting ready to cut from this and go to sped up version of everything anyways. But yeah, I just wanted you to see it launching, and then show you in space where this thing's going to get us to the moon. With that rocket's going to get us enough, to the moon with enough fuel to put us down as well. Fairly standard procedure at this point. We've been there. I feel like we've been to the moon. We've been focusing on the moon a lot lately. That's going to change after the next episode. We're going to wrap up the moon, and then I want to move on to some other things. Mainly, I want to send a lander to Minimus, in order to get all the science from there. And with no rover, we're just going to bounce around with a lander and get all the science. And I also want to go to Duna. We're in position now to where we can go to Duna. We can send a satellite to Duna. That's going to be top priority coming up soon. It's actually already been recorded. It'll be in one of the newer episodes. And I want to send a manned mission to Duna as well. This is me just pumping the brakes on going to the moon. You see here, we ran into a little fuel problem, so I am having to balance all just so that we have enough fuel to. I got a little carried away. I overshot the landing zone by a fair bit by mistake, and I had to burn the rest of the fuel in that tank. So now I'm having to transfer fuel from our rover to our engine, so that we don't crash into the surface. So that's going to eat up a little bit of our fuel, and that is not ideal. Not ideal at all. And also, you know, you can see me trying to, instead of just land the thing and drive it over there, I'm trying to be fancy with it and try to get back to, I'm covering my head in shame because it's just a waste of fuel that I could possibly need. So we're gonna hit this maneuver node and burn more towards our lander. I actually was going off of the wrong target. You see that one in the background? That's actually from the pieces from the rover, the first rover that landed, and that's the lander right there that we want to go to. Did all that work and then killed my velocity, and we're still going to end up coming up short. But we're going to be coming up on bad terrain, which is not good. That freaking this is a nasty hill, man. This is a nasty hill. So it wasn't ideal, but and you can see we've almost used up all our fuel. Bringing this thing back in. So the countermeasures to the moon's gravity that I added to the rover have just been pissed away by really just bad management on my part, and then to exacerbate the situation, I still have balance on, and I go to turn it off, and then I jettisoned the part. So there's precious fuel in that part sliding down a hill, and I just said, fuck it, I'm done. I'm just gonna drive to the damn the damn lander. And I kept this one in because I feel like you missed out on a lot of driving last time, so you're not gonna miss out on any this time. We're gonna show you the whole thing and me coming down this hill just at higher speed. But yeah, this God, that was such a dumb mistake on my part, and just I don't know what I was thinking. But you can automatically tell that this thing is a little bit more stable than the original one. It already shows it by being able to go down this mountain without completely squealing all over the place. Also, another thing that I did is I toned down how fast I went, and that helped out a lot too. See, you got a little squirrely there. You gotta be careful with the brakes. If you do slam on the brakes, this thing is going to lose control, and yeah, that's not a good thing. I guess I probably should turn down the brake speed, but I've got it up there I got it up high for a reason. being that traction's a little bit more. But if you just tap the brakes, you're fine. If you're wanting to come to a complete stop, slamming on them's okay. It's just you got to keep in mind that if you're not on flat terrain, you will squirrel all over the place, and that again is not ideal. Not an ideal thing for this. For whatever reason, they I don't know why the mystery goo and stuff was messing up on this one. I took it and then it disappeared. I think I may have been in another biome, but I do end up going back and getting that again for like the second or third time. Ended up getting that like 3 or 4 times. Wow, it is real. Yeah, really hoping that the choppiness is not going to translate through. I think it's just my editing software that I use. Anyways, so yeah, we're almost there. As you can see, we're getting really close to it. I am going to have to do some cleaning up around the moon here in a little bit, because all those rovers and stuff being placed out a lot. And you can see I did use our engines there when we got a little bit of air. And it worked fine. So had I had enough fuel to actually use them, they would have been useful. But now they're kind of not. So what we're going to do in the next episode is we're going to go around to all the different biomes, and we're also going to probably start a new mission, and then probably wrap this one up. A lot of driving to do. This is not an ideal landing position. There's not a lot of biomes near it. So the 2 that are closest to it, I'm going to run to. I can go ahead and tell you right now, it's an hour-long drive. That's how long I drive this rover for. So, yeah, that's a huge pain in the butt, but it's totally worth it at the end of it when we get all the science. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. As always, please leave comments down in the comment section below and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I make these videos every week, and you know, I enjoy my audience. You guys are the best, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week for more Redneck Space Program.